Hello? Ah, ah, ah! Whoa! Oh, oh, no, no fucking way.
The forest has always been a place of mystery, a place where people go to disappear, to find peace, or sometimes to lose it. But what happens when the sound of wind in the trees is replaced by footsteps that aren't yours? Tonight, we'll be covering 3 of the most disturbing encounters caught deep in the woods, all captured by real people on real cameras. CJ Faison is a YouTuber and explorer known for testing his luck in all the worst places, from abandoned mines to deserted ghost towns. But this time, he wasn't chasing spirits. It was October of 2024, and he was attempting something different, his first solo van camping trip. No friends to talk to, and none for protection. And the place he picked? The Pine Barrens of New Jersey, a 1,000,000-acre stretch of thick forest and grim history. Locals call it cursed. Some claim it's home to the Jersey Devil. Others believe something far worse hides there: people. And since it's in the state of New Jersey, CJ wasn't permitted to carry any weapons for protection, only his bare hands.
I just pulled up. That's weird. Sounds very hollow.
He arrives shortly after dark, parking deep along a sandy trail. As he steps out, the ground sounds hollow beneath him, like something is buried underfoot. It's odd, but he ignores it, for now. The night starts normal enough. He sets up camp, films a bit for his viewers, even jokes about how calm it feels. But in the Pine Barrens, calm doesn't seem to last long.
I feel very nervous because this, like, completely solo. You're in the middle of the woods. Oh, I'm gonna get my stuff. I'm gonna go on a little bike ride here, and we're gonna go explore around together.
When he comes back from a short bike ride, something's different.
Those 2 logs are knocked over. The 2 logs are actually knocked over. I know for a fact that one was standing up, and I know that I'm 99% sure that one was standing up too.
2 thick logs he'd placed upright earlier are now lying flat, knocked down, cleanly. No wind, no animals around. CJ attempts to rationalize it, but he's uneasy. He shuts the van, locks up, and keeps recording. Then the strange, unexplained noises begin from outside the van.
This is not the mount.
Followed by a faint red light flickering at the edge of camp. A flashlight, one he's never seen before, blinking in the brush. But when he checks it, the power switch is still in the off position.
Come on. That's somebody's flashlight. Somebody's out here. Obviously. A damn flashlight doesn't fall clean out of the sky.
Somehow, it turned itself on. And while running back toward the van, an unexpected stride kicks in.
Whoa! No. Fuck you, motherfucker. I'll fucking beat your ass with this fucking flashlight if I find you.
It's obvious that someone is toying with him.
What the fuck? Alright, come the fuck on. Who's out here? Who's out here? I'm 9,000% sure that light was not on.
Moments later, an outside light source switches on by itself. CJ stumbles back, heart racing, as the shadows around him move. Whoever, or whatever, is out there is playing games. His cameras begin dying one after another. Batteries draining, overheating warnings flashing, even though it's cool outside. Then comes a sound, a single heavy bang from somewhere near the riverbank.
Oh, no, no fucking way. Hello? Listen, dude. Listen. If you're fucking with me, just come out and say it.
It's deliberate, loud enough to make him stop cold. He calls out, no reply, just silence. But as he hurries to check the toilet building, there's truly nothing there.
Yo, but I'm not 1000% sure that boom or bang came from that right there. 100% came from that right there.
Finally, CJ locks himself inside the van for the night. No more exploring, just the hum of the Starlink antenna and the sense of eyes in the darkness.
But no, I made it through the night. No one killed me. No one tried to break in the van that I know of, at least. I think when I fell asleep.
Morning brings quiet. The bike is untouched. The van is fine. Everything looks unchanged. And yet, somehow, nothing feels right. The Pine Barrens are silent again. Too silent. Because whatever was out there that night, it didn't need to reveal itself to convince CJ that it was real. On April 5th, 2019, a man known as Sunking uploaded a video to his YouTube channel, Appy Mountain Trekkers, a page dedicated to everything outdoors. Through it, King documents his adventures and shares his knowledge and survival skills. In this video, King sets out for what was supposed to be a routine solo overnight bushcraft trip, something he had done many times before. But this night would turn out different, darker, and easily the most unsettling experience of his life. At first glance, nothing in King's footage appeared unusual. Everything suggested a completely normal camping trip. He pitched his tent, started a fire to cook food, and kept a gun and knife within reach for protection. But deep within those woods, something was waiting. Something so disturbing, it would leave King genuinely fearing for his life. As darkness began to settle in, something felt wrong. There was a look in King's eyes, a quiet unease, though he wasn't certain enough to say it aloud. Not yet. That is, until something in the forest began to move.
Alright guys, I just want to give you a quick update. It's about 10 after 10. I laid down about 9 o'clock and I was trying to go to sleep. It took me a while and I was almost asleep, and sometime before 10 I was woke up by something I've never heard in my life.
The fear in King's eyes says it all. A man who has camped his entire life now looks frightened like a child. Whatever was out there wasn't just wildlife. It was something far more unsettling.
And I know this might sound sensational or something that, I'm not bullshitting. I heard like 4 quick, very loud, deep guttural calls on this ridge behind me, behind camp. There's like a dip on the other side and it goes up to a higher ridge on this backside, and it sounded like it come from over there. But it was like 4 calls, almost like a communication call of some kind. They were back to back, and then there was a pause, and then I heard 2 more. It scared the absolute shit out of me.
And when those words come from a man armed with a gun and a knife, someone capable of defending himself, you know the situation is serious. Unsure whether to lie back down or step outside with his weapons ready, King chooses to pause and listen. But then, footsteps crunch just beyond his camp. Heart pounding, he grabs his gear and steps out to investigate, searching for any sign of whatever was, or still is, moving through the trees.
About 1 o'clock, I woke up again. I heard something circle my camp. Whatever it is, it's close.
It doesn't take long before something shifts in the distance, large enough to hear clearly, yet careful enough to remain unseen.
Hear that?
Advancing slowly from tree to tree, King begins to feel a deep chill. Something is moving right ahead of him, but just far enough that his dim flashlight can't fully reveal it. Suddenly, a scream tears through the dark forest, and that's when King decides he's had enough and retreats to camp. But he's too shaken to sleep. Instead, he stays awake the rest of the night, watching the perimeter. Thankfully, nothing returns to disturb. The next footage comes from Sydney, a solo traveler and content creator who records her life on the road across the United States. Through her self-titled YouTube channel, she shows the raw, unfiltered side of van life, the freedom, the solitude, and the quiet beauty that comes with sleeping beneath the open sky. But during one calm evening in Tennessee, her relaxing return to a familiar, peaceful campsite instead turned into a night that made her question everything she thought she understood about being alone in the forest.
So, I am in the middle of Tennessee. I left Nashville about an hour ago, and I'm making my way to the campsite that I stayed at the very first night that I camped out by myself.
It's early evening as the video starts. Sydney has just left Nashville and is heading back to a small campsite hidden deep in the Tennessee wilderness, the very place where she first camped solo at the start of her journey. It's somewhere that feels known, even secure. As the road tightens into a single lane, she chats about her plans for the coming week, the small errands ahead, and the next few states she'll travel through. It's a typical day on the road, quiet, steady, and filled with that certain stillness that settles in before sunset.
This looks a lot different than the last time I came down here. There's nobody here. I'm gonna get out and take a gander and make sure everything's like safe, and I might drive down there, but I might take the top spot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna come down to this spot. I'm so glad it's open.
When she pulls in, the campsite is entirely empty. Just her, the trees, and the sound of water flowing nearby. For someone traveling alone, it's ideal, or at least it appears to be. She sets up camp, speaks with her viewers, and begins making dinner. Everything feels peaceful, comfortable, until that peace is suddenly broken.
Is that?
A deep guttural sound drifts from the trees, far away, yet close enough to stop her mid-sentence. The camera quickly turns toward the forest. Another noise follows, louder this time, then silence. For several seconds, she simply listens. The woods fall completely still again. Then she lets out a nervous laugh, trying to shrug it off. Maybe a deer, maybe a coyote. But her face tells a different story. Whatever made that sound, she's never heard anything like it before. She reaches for her gun and loads it, just in case things take a darker turn. She quietly begins packing up. Plates, food, supplies, everything moved closer to the vehicle. If something happens, she wants to be prepared to leave without hesitation.
I packed all my stuff up so that if I do need to like just close this, I only have this to move. What if it was Bigfoot and that was like a deer that he was eating and it was like making noises? Because the deer is scared. That was so weird. I heard it move too. It like moved from like there to...
For the rest of the evening, she attempts to stay composed. She eats, records a few more clips, and talks through what she heard, half joking, half unsettled. Maybe it was wildlife, she suggests. Maybe Bigfoot. Maybe nothing at all. But even as she climbs into bed later that night, the tension lingers. The video fades to black, and the following morning shows her smiling once more. Exhausted, relieved, and ready to move on from the campsite. Whatever made that sound never shows itself on camera,